आज हम लोग बातचीत करने वाले हैं प्रिज्म के बारे में। प्रिज्म एक ऐसी सॉलिड ज्योमेट्रिकल शेप है जिसका टॉप और बॉटम एरिया आइडेंटिकल होता है। ऑप्टिक्स में मोस्टली प्रिज्म का मतलब होता है अ ट्रायंगुलर प्रिज्म एंड दैट टू प्राइमरली आइसोसेलेस प्रिज्म, जिसमें ये दोनों साइड्स बराबर हैं। मोस्टली जो लैब में हम प्रिज्म यूज करते हैं उसमें एक सरफेस को विच इज कॉल्ड बॉटम सरफेस दैट इज मेड रफ, और इस आइसोसेलेस प्रिज्म में जो टॉप पर ये एंगल आता है दोनों सरफेसेस के बीच में, दिस एंगल इज कॉल्ड प्रिज्म एंगल और रिफ्रैक्टिंग एंगल ऑफ प्रिज्म। नाउ प्रिज्म पर अगर ये इंसिडेंट रे है तो पॉइंट ऑफ इंसिडेंस पर if we draw a normal, this is angle of incidence, that is I, then this ray refracts and maybe goes like this. इस surface पर ये angle of refraction, let's say R1, and finally this ray emerges out of the prism. यहाँ पर पॉइंट ऑफ इमर्जेंस पर अगर आप नॉर्मल ड्रॉ करें तो दिस इज एंगल ऑफ इमर्जेंस E, and of course this is second angle of refraction. So in this particular situation, if suppose we say that the prism is A, B and C, these points are P, point of incidence, this point is Q, point of emergence, and this point is, let's say, S, where the two normals intersect. Then in this quadrilateral APSQ, in quadrilateral APSQ, इस क्वाड्रिलेटरल में this angle is 90 degree because this is normal to the point of incidence, and similarly this angle is 90 degree because this is normal at the point of emergence. Therefore the sum of these four angles in quadrilateral, which must be 360 degree, out of these four angles these two angles is 180 degree. Therefore angle A plus angle S must be 180 degree, or angle S is 180 degree, that is pi minus A. That is one thing. Second, if we think of the triangle PSQ, in triangle PSQ, इस ट्रायंगल में इन तीनों एंगल्स का सम 180 डिग्री है। R1 plus R2 plus S must be 180 degree. Therefore angle S is pi minus R1 plus R2. If we compare equation 1 and 2, we get pi minus A is equal to pi minus R1 plus R2. Therefore you cancel out pi, A comes out to be R1 plus R2. Without any specific precondition, we got a result that both the angle of refraction must sum to angle of the prism. Therefore this is a very fundamental and important result in prism, that sum of angle of refraction at the point of incidence and at the point of emergence, that gives A, the prism angle. Then One more thing, the incident ray would have been going like this, and emergent ray is finally moving on this path. So this angle between incident ray and emergent ray, this is total angle of deviation, delta. At the point of incidence, this is first angle of deviation, let's say delta 1, and at point of emergence, this is second angle of deviation, let's say delta 2. Therefore, from here, in this triangle, exterior angle delta is sum of interior angles delta 1 plus delta 2. That means total angle of deviation is the sum of angle of deviation at the 2 points, point of incidence and point of emergence. Now at point of incidence, delta 1 is I, this was I minus R1. So delta 1 is I minus R1. Similarly here at point of emergence, delta 2 is E minus R2. So ultimately total angle of deviation is I plus E minus R1 plus R2. We have already proved that R1 plus R2 is A. So total angle of deviation in prism delta is equal to I plus E minus A. This is second important result. Now इस डेल्टा को अगर एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंस के साथ प्लॉट करते हैं तो इट इज ऑब्जर्व्ड दैट व्हेन यू वेरी एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंस then along with the angle of incidence delta changes somewhat like this, and for a particular angle of incidence total angle of deviation is minimum on an isosceles prism, and therefore we call this delta as delta minimum, delta m. So this delta m, if you want to calculate from this expression, here mathematically delta is I plus E minus A. For a given prism A is constant, but still delta depends on two variables I and E. So अगर इस प्रिज्म के मटेरियल का रिफ्रैक्टिव इंडेक्स म्यू है तो वी कैन राइट वन सिंपल रिजल्ट दैट म्यू इज sin I by sin R1, mu is sin I by sin R1 at point of incidence, and similarly same mu is sin E by sin R2 at emergence. Therefore, if you try to replace I and E from there, knowing that R1 plus R2 is A, let's do one thing. Let us consider R1 to be R, then automatically R2 will become A minus R. In that situation, delta will become I. From here, sin I is what? Mu sin R1, that is mu sin R. So I is sin inverse mu sin R. Similarly, E, I plus E, E is sin inverse mu sin R2, R2 is what? A minus R. And what else? A. This is what delta is. Now delta is a function of single variable, so we can think of maxima minima of it. If you try calculating maxima minima of it, we get delta for delta to be minimum, d delta by dr should be 0, डी डेल्टा बाई डी आर को जीरो करिए, साइन इनवर्स एक्स का डिफरेंशियल होता है 1/√1 माइनस एक्स स्क्वायर म्यू स्क्वायर साइन स्क्वायर आर, न्यूमरेटर में इसके डिफरेंशियल से मल्टीप्लाई करिए इंटू म्यू कॉस आर, यहां पर ये हो जाएगा साइन इनवर्स म्यू साइन ए माइनस आर का डिफरेंशियल, सो 1 माइनस म्यू साइन ए माइनस आर का होल स्क्वायर, दैट इज दिस, एंड इसका डिफरेंशियल ऊपर मल्टीप्लाई करिए म्यू कॉस ए माइनस आर और -1 ये, और ऑफ कोर्स ए इज ए कांस्टेंट, इसका डिफरेंशियल 0. नाउ व्हेन यू पुट दिस एंटायर इक्वल टू 0, दैट मीन्स दिस एक्सप्रेशन इज इक्वल टू दिस एक्सप्रेशन. दोनों एक्सप्रेशन आइडेंटिकल हैं, सो इन दोनों एक्सप्रेशन के बराबर होने की एक ही कंडीशन है, r has to be equal to a minus r. That means for delta to be minimum, r must be a minus r. That means 2r must be a, or r is equal to a by 2. So from all this discussion we reach to the point that r has to be a by 2 for minimum deviation, and in that case certainly r2, which is a minus r, must also be a by 2. And when both r1 and r2 are actually equal and they are a by 2, certainly I and E will also be equal. So this entire discussion gives us that for minimum deviation, for delta to be minimum, r, that means r1 and r2 both, they must be a by 2, and similarly I and E, they must be equal. In that case, if you try calculating total delta minimum, delta is I plus E, so that will simply become in fact 2I minus A, and of course R is A by 2. So if we try calculating I from here, I is delta minimum plus A whole divided by 2. You know I, you know R, so from this expression mu is sin I by sin R, which is sin of delta m plus A by 2 divided by sin R, that is sin of A by 2, and this is mu. This is called well known prism formula, and this relates angle of deviation of light ray with the refractive index of material of prism. Now since I and E are equal for minimum deviation, therefore it proves that for minimum deviation refracted ray passes through prism such that it is parallel to base of the isosceles prism, क्योंकि तभी दोनों एंगल I और E इक्वल होने वाले हैं, और उस केस में ये दोनों R भी बराबर होने वाले हैं, and both R will become A by 2. Now the final result is mu is equal to sin I by sin R, which is basically sin of delta m plus A by 2 divided by sin of A by 2. Now for thin prisms, थिन प्रिज्म्स के लिए प्रिज्म एंगल बहुत छोटा होता है, और तब आप जब प्रिज्म एंगल बहुत छोटा होगा तो डेल्टा भी बहुत छोटा होगा, and that case we can apply the approximation sin theta is equal to theta. So for thin prisms mu is approximately equal to delta m plus A by 2 divided by A by 2, by 2 is cancelled, so approximately it is delta m plus A divided by A. That means mu into A is delta m plus A, or simply delta m is equal to mu minus 1 times A. वैसे तो ये फॉर्मूला थिन प्रिज्म्स के लिए ही वैलिड है, बट टू ए सर्टेन डिग्री ऑफ अप्रोक्सीमेशन, और चूंकि डेल्टा का आई के साथ कर्व काफी फ्लैट होता है, वी कैन आल्सो राइट एनी डेल्टा, नॉट सिंपली डेल्टा मिनिमम, इज अप्रोक्सीमेटली A times mu minus 1. This is only approximate result, and to a certain degree of approximation it is valid for even larger angles of prism. Now prism के किसी भी फॉर्मूले में कोई साइन कन्वेंशन अप्लाई नहीं होना है, बस आपने ये ध्यान रखना है कि प्रिज्म चाहे आइसोसेलेस हो या ना हो, क्योंकि जो लाइट रेज इसमें से पास हो रही हैं उनको बेस के बारे में कुछ नहीं पता है। ये प्रिज्म चाहे ऐसा ही क्यों ना हो, प्रिज्म के बिहेवियर पर कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला है। बस ये है कि बेस अगर बदल देंगे आप, तो सिर्फ ये स्टेटमेंट वैलिड नहीं रहेगा कि जब मिनिमम डेविएशन है तब रिफ्रैक्टेड रे बेस के पैरेलल है। रिफ्रैक्टेड रे बेस के पैरेलल तभी होगी मिनिमम डेविएशन के केस में जब प्रिज्म आइसोसेलेस होगा। अदरवाइज प्रिज्म की बाकी बिहेवियर पर प्रिज्म के आइसोसेलेस होने या न होने का कोई इफेक्ट नहीं है। सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट प्रिज्म्स, एंड प्रिज्म्स के साथ ही रिलेटेड है वन अनदर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, दैट इज कॉल्ड क्रोमेटिक एब्रेशन। नाउ क्रोमेटिक एब्रेशन के लिए सबसे पहले और सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्ट है, लाइट रेज किसी भी ट्रांसपेरेंट मीडियम में अलग अलग कलर यानी कि अलग अलग फ्रीक्वेंसी के लिए अलग अलग वेलोसिटी एज्यूम करती हैं। इन फ्री स्पेस ऑल दी फ्रीक्वेंसीज ऑफ लाइट ट्रेवल विथ सेम वेलोसिटी। फर्स्ट फैक्ट है, इन फ्री स्पेस all frequencies have same velocity in light। लेकिन ट्रांसपेरेंट मीडियम में लाइट की वेलोसिटी अलग अलग कलर के लिए यानी कि अलग अलग फ्रीक्वेंसी के लिए अलग अलग होती है। इन अ ट्रांसपेरेंट मीडियम वेलोसिटी ऑफ लाइट फॉर रेड कलर is fastest and velocity of light for violet color is slowest. So in a transparent medium red color moves fastest. This is property of all transparent medium. कोई भी ऐसा ट्रांसपेरेंट मीडियम नहीं है जिसमें वॉयलेट रेड से फास्ट मूव करता हो। Therefore mu refractive index of a transparent medium, which is defined as C in vacuum divided by C in medium. C vacuum is same for all the colors, C medium is different for different colors. Therefore C vacuum, which we are going to write only C, and C medium, let us say Cm, this is different for different colors. So if you try calculating mu r is C upon Cm of r, and mu v is C upon Cm of v. r यानी कि रेड कलर के लिए velocity of light greater compared to violet color, therefore this fraction will be smaller, and therefore mu r is less than mu v. So हर ट्रांसपेरेंट मीडियम में रेड कलर के लिए रिफ्रैक्टिव इंडेक्स वायलेट कलर के मुकाबले कम होता है। Therefore if you think of deviation of light rays through a prism, delta, which is a times mu minus 1, जिस कलर के लिए म्यू कम होगा उस कलर के लिए डेल्टा भी कम होगा, therefore डेल्टा आर विल बी सर्टेनली लेस देन डेल्टा वी। और इसी वजह से जब आप लाइट रेज को किसी प्रिज्म से पास करते हैं तो अलग अलग कलर की लाइट अलग अलग एंगल पर बेंड करती है। इनफैक्ट रेड कलर के लिए डेविएशन कम होता है और वायलेट कलर के लिए डेविएशन ज़्यादा होता है। सो इसलिए if we allow a white light beam to pass through a prism, the component of violet color will experience maximum deviation, component of violet color will show maximum deviation and therefore स्क्रीन पर ये सबसे नीचे इकट्ठा होगा, और रेड कलर विल शो क्वाइट लेसर डेविएशन कंपेयर टू दिस, देयरफॉर रेड ऊपर इकट्ठा होगा, एंड दैट इज हाउ वी गेट ऑल द 7 कंपोनेंट कलर्स violet to red, that is Vibgyor, that is violet, indigo, blue, then green, orange, red, and बीच में है इसमें येलो, इट इज वायलेट, इंडिगो, ब्लू, ग्रीन, येलो, ऑरेंज, रेड, these 7 starting from V to R. Now this would have been the original direction of light rays, and this is deviation for violet color. Similarly, this is deviation for red color. So this angle the angle between extreme colors, violet color and red color, this angle is defined as capital delta, called angle of dispersion. This is angle of dispersion, and from this diagram it is clear that angle of dispersion is nothing but delta V minus delta R. Now angle of dispersion per unit angle of deviation for mean color is defined as dispersive power of the medium of prism. So mean color we consider green as mean color. So by definition omega, that is dispersive power of material of prism, that is defined as angle of dispersion per unit angle of deviation for mean color, that is delta G. So from this definition, if we try calculating, omega is delta V minus delta R upon delta G. Delta by definition of prism, delta is A times mu minus 1. So if we write it here, it is A times mu V minus 1 minus A times mu R minus 1 divided by A times mu G minus 1. A कॉमन निकल के कैंसिल हो गया, this will become mu V minus mu R upon mu G minus 1, that is omega, the dispersive power of material of prism. Now this expression is accepted as a standard expression to calculate dispersive power of material of any transparent medium by International Science Congress. Therefore हालांकि ये फॉर्मूले A इंटू म्यू वी माइनस 1 या a into mu r minus 1, they are actually approximate, but this is taken as standard result for the calculation of dispersive power of any transparent medium, and therefore omega is mu v minus mu r upon mu g minus 1. G is the mean color in the spectrum, and omega is a very small quantity. It is of the order of 10 to the power minus 4. Therefore, the angle of dispersion is actually a very small quantity, and to find out dispersive power using a prism, practically we have to calculate it, measure it very accurately and with care. Then what exactly happens because of this? The phenomena is called dispersion. So in this dispersion phenomena, when light passes through a transparent medium, because different colors have different refractive index of the transparent medium, they show different properties. Now, if we think of a convex lens, for a convex lens, focal length by definition is f is equal to 1 upon, f is equal to mu minus 1 upon r1 minus 1 upon r2. F is equal to mu minus 1 upon r1 minus 1 upon r2. Now, f depends on mu. जिस कलर के लिए लेंस के मीडियम का रिफ्रैक्टिव इंडेक्स ज़्यादा होगा, उसके लिए लेट्स मेक अ चेंज, इट इज 1 upon f is equal to mu minus 1 upon r1 minus 1 upon r2. सो जिस कलर के लिए म्यू ज़्यादा होगा लेंस का, उस कलर के लिए f कम होगा, एंड देयरफॉर फॉर रेड कलर mu for red is less than mu for violet, therefore f for red is greater than f for violet. So यहाँ पर suppose we form image of an object illuminated by white light, जो rays parallel to principal axis incident होती हैं, they will pass through focal point, और focal point में we have different focal point for different colors. Violet will focus earlier compared to red. हालांकि ये distance दोनों focal points में बहुत छोटी होती है, but still violet color will pass like this, whereas red color will pass like this, and therefore we have image formation for different colors at different places. Because of this, all the colors do not focus at same place, and दोनों कलर्स की इमेजेस के बीच में ये जो सेपरेशन है, इसके लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल है दोनों कलर्स के लिए लेंस की अलग अलग फोकल लेंथ. So this separation, which is basically FR minus FV, this separation is called axial chromatic aberration. This is axial chromatic aberration, the difference between focal lengths of the lens for two extreme colors, FR minus FV. So let us try calculating axial chromatic aberration of a convex lens. Now, to calculate axial chromatic aberration, that means difference between these two focal lengths, 1 upon f v is equal to mu v minus 1 upon r1 minus 1 upon r2. 1 upon fr is mu r minus 1 upon r1 minus 1 upon r2. and of course 1 upon Fg is mu g minus 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon R2. Now from 1, 2 and 3, if we divide 1 by 2, we get 1 upon, it is Fg upon Fv, that is mu v minus 1 upon mu g minus 1. Similarly, if we divide 2 by 3, it is Fg upon Fr mu r minus 1 divided by mu g minus 1. Now subtract 4 from 5, we get 1 upon Fv, Fg common, 1 upon Fv minus 1 upon Fr is equal to mu v minus mu r upon mu g minus 1, and by definition mu v minus mu r upon mu g minus 1 is omega. Therefore, we get a standard result 1 upon Fv minus 1 upon Fr is equal to omega by Fg. Now, with the help of this, we can try finding out axial chromatic aberration. You can write it like this: Fr minus Fv upon Fr into Fv is equal to omega upon Fg. Now, since green color is mean color, we can approximate Fr into Fv is equal to Fg square. With this approximation, we can cancel one Fg and we get Fr minus Fv is omega times Fg, and Fg is normal focal length, the mean focal length. So Fr minus Fv is simply omega f. The axial chromatic aberration for a lens is Fr minus Fv, that is dispersive power times normal focal length of the lens. Now, इसी वजह से किसी भी ऑप्टिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट में जब आप देखते हैं किसी लेंस के थ्रू, तो इमेजेस के किनारों पर कलर दिखाई देता है, और इससे बचने का तरीका होता है रिमूवल ऑफ क्रोमेटिक एब्रेशन. क्रोमेटिक एब्रेशन को रिमूव करने के लिए वी यूज अ लेंस पेयर of which one is convex and the other is concave. In fact, what exactly happens is, पहले लेंस के लिए suppose FV1, FR1 and FG1 are the focal lengths. Similarly, mu V1, mu R1 and mu G1 are the refractive indices. And for the second lens, it is basically FV2, FR2, FG2 are the focal lengths, and mu V2, mu R2 and mu G2 are the refractive indices. And then if we write 1 upon FV1 minus 1 upon FR1 is equal to omega 1 by F1. Similarly, for the second lens, 1 upon FV2 minus 1 upon FR2 is omega 2 by F2. If we add these two, 1 upon FV1 plus 1 upon FV2 will become 1 upon FV for the combined lens. Similarly, 1 upon FR for the combined lens, and that is omega 1 by F1 plus omega 2 by F2. Now, if the combination achromatic, Fv and Fr has to be equal, and when they are equal, the 1 upon f has to be 0, they are equal, and then this is omega 1 by f1 plus omega 2 by f2. So for a chromatic combination, omega 1 by f1 plus omega 2 by f2 must be 0, whereas 1 upon f is 1 upon f1 plus 1 upon f2. Therefore, चूंकि हर लेंस के मटेरियल के लिए ओमेगा हमेशा पॉजिटिव होता है, इसलिए ये कॉम्बिनेशन जीरो तभी होगा जब इनमें से एक फोकल लेंथ नेगेटिव हो, एंड दैट इज हाउ वी सॉल्व द प्रॉब्लम ऑफ क्रोमेटिक एबरेशन. दिस इज द इक्विवेलेंट फोकल लेंथ वी नीड, सो वी नो किस फोकल लेंथ का कौन सा लेंस बनाना है ताकि क्रोमेटिक एबरेशन को रिमूव किया सके. Similarly, we talk about the achromatic combination of two prisms. Now let us talk about achromatic combination of prisms. Now let us talk about combination of two prisms. So we combine two prisms like this. Now there are four possibilities actually: deviation and dispersion, deviation without dispersion, dispersion without deviation, and no deviation and no dispersion. Actually deviation और dispersion दोनों चाहिए तो single prism से मिल जाएंगे. There is no need to combine two prisms. And if you want no deviation and no dispersion, that is simply a slab. In a prism there will be certainly deviation or dispersion or both. So we can combine two prisms either for dispersion without deviation or for deviation without dispersion. So first we are talking about dispersion without deviation. Without deviation means we want delta 1 plus delta 2 must be 0. Now omega is defined as capital delta by small delta, angle of dispersion divided by angle of deviation. Therefore delta will become capital delta by omega. In this situation, delta 1, that means delta 1 by omega 1 plus delta 2 by omega 2, that must be 0, and then total angle of dispersion, delta will become delta 1 plus delta 2. If you write delta, delta is omega delta 1, omega 1 delta 1 plus omega 2 delta 2. Now if we put value of delta 2, this delta 2 is what? Minus delta 1. So that is minus delta 1, and in that case total angle of dispersion will become omega 1 minus omega 2 multiplied by delta 1. So if you want dispersion without deviation, total angle of dispersion is omega 1 minus omega 2 multiplied by delta 1, and in that case actually delta 1 by omega 1 plus delta 2 by omega 2 is equal to 0. This is first case, that is dispersion without deviation. Similarly, if you talk about deviation without dispersion, the situation is a little different. It is deviation without dispersion. Without dispersion means this time we don't want capital delta, that means delta 1 plus delta 2 has to be 0. In that case total deviation delta is delta 1 plus delta 2. Now, when delta is 0, omega is delta by delta, therefore delta is omega delta. डेल्टा को ओमेगा डेल्टा डाल दिए तो दैट विल बिकम ओमेगा 1 डेल्टा 1 प्लस ओमेगा 2 डेल्टा 2 is 0. If you put it here, delta will become delta 1 plus delta 2. Delta 2 is minus omega 1 delta 1 upon omega 2, and that will become delta 1 common, omega 2 minus omega 1 by omega 2. So when dispersion is 0, total dispersion is 0, deviation is omega 2 minus omega 1 divided by omega 2 times delta 1. This is the second situation. So that is how we come to the end of chromatic aberration and dispersion of light. Final and most important thing in this part of optics, that is the optical instruments. Now, optical instruments, see, optical instruments में हमारे सिलेबस में 3 इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स हैं. वन इज simple microscope, second is compound microscope, and third is astronomical telescope. Now, when we talk about these instruments, actually we talk about angular magnification. अभी तक लेंसेज और मिरर्स के लिए हमने जो मैग्निफिकेशन पढ़े हैं, ट्रांसवर्स और लॉन्गिट्यूडनल. ट्रांसवर्स मैग्निफिकेशन, इमेज लेंथ अपॉन ऑब्जेक्ट लेंथ परपेंडिकुलर टू प्रिंसिपल एक्सिस, और longitudinal magnification, image length upon object length parallel to principal axis. But here we have to talk about m theta, angular magnification, that is angle subtended by image, final image through an instrument divided by angle subtended by object on the naked eyes, that is angular magnification. So इन तीनों ही तरह के इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स के लिए we define a term called angular magnification, that is angle subtended by final image divided by angle subtended by object on the naked eyes. This is the definition of angular magnification. लेकिन इसमें एक छोटा सा कैच है. माइक्रोस्कोप के केस में you are dealing with a very small object which is in your reach. So angular magnification define करते समय angle subtended by object on the naked eyes, इसमें in fact it is the largest angle which object can subtend on the naked eyes. That is, object must be placed at least distance of distinct vision. Whereas when you talk about telescope, object is not in your reach, so there is no question of keeping object on the least distance of distinct vision. Here the angle separated by object on the naked eyes from the place where it is. यहाँ पर ऑब्जेक्ट को लीस्ट डिस्टेंस ऑफ डिस्टिंक्ट विजन पर नहीं रख सकते. अगर ऑब्जेक्ट को लीस्ट डिस्टेंस ऑफ डिस्टिंक्ट विजन तक ही लाते हैं तो टेलीस्कोप की कोई जरूरत ही नहीं है. सो इस पोर्शन में एंगुलर मैग्निफिकेशन के डेफिनेशन की थोड़ा सा ध्यान रखना है. इस तरह से एंगुलर मैग्निफिकेशन फॉर टेलीस्कोप एंड माइक्रोस्कोप आर अ लिटिल डिफरेंट. एंगुलर मैग्निफिकेशन फॉर माइक्रोस्कोप कैलकुलेट करते समय it is angle separated by object on the naked eyes at least distance of distinct vision लेना है, और यहाँ angle separated by object on the naked eyes जहाँ पर ऑब्जेक्ट है वहीं से. Now let us see, let us talk about these one by one. So first of all, simple microscope. Now see, simple microscope में in fact we have only one convex lens, that is basically called hand lens or eyepiece for that matter. Now simple microscope में टेक्निक ये है कि ऑब्जेक्ट को आईपीस के फोकल पॉइंट से अंदर रखा जाता है जिससे वर्चुअल इमेज फॉर्म होती है, and this virtual image is larger than the size of object. So what exactly happens is, if this is the final image formed, this is the focal point from where the parallel beam of light passes after refraction through the lens. ये ऑब्जेक्ट है AB and this is image A dash B dash which is enlarged. Therefore this is the angle beta, angle separated by final image on the eyes. इसी ऑब्जेक्ट AB को जब आई से आप लीस्ट डिस्टेंस ऑफ डिस्टिंक्ट विजन पर रखेंगे तब ये जो एंगल सेपरेट करता है आईज पर, दैट इज अल्फा, एंड हियर दिस डिस्टेंस इज कैपिटल D, लीस्ट डिस्टेंस ऑफ डिस्टिंक्ट विजन. एसआई सिस्टम में कैपिटल D की वैल्यू लेते हैं 25 सेंटीमीटर्स. नाउ बाय डेफिनेशन एंगुलर मैग्निफिकेशन m theta is angle separated by object divided by angle separated by final image divided by angle separated by object on the naked eyes. Now since we deal with paraxial ray system, all these angles are very small, therefore beta can be written as approximately tan beta, and similarly alpha is tan alpha. Now tan beta is AB divided by, let us call this distance UE, object distance for the eyepiece, and therefore m theta will become tan beta, that is AB by UE, divided by tan alpha, that is AB by capital D. Therefore angular magnification m theta is D by UE, AB is cancelled. This is general expression for calculation of angular magnification for the simple hand lens or simple microscope. Now let us see, for this convex lens 1 upon f is 1 upon v minus 1 upon u. When you are talking about virtual image, both u and v are negative, whereas it is a convex lens, therefore f is positive. So 1 upon fe is 1 upon ue minus 1 upon ve. Therefore 1 upon ue is 1 upon Fe plus 1 upon Ve. That means d upon Ue will become d upon Fe plus d upon Ve. Magnification for us is d upon Ue. Therefore, m theta will become d by Fe common 1 plus Fe by Ve. So, if we solve this expression, angular magnification for simple microscope comes out to be d by Fe into 1 plus Fe by Ve. Now, इस सिचुएशन में when Ve is least, this expression is largest, therefore this entire is largest, therefore m theta is largest. So for maximum magnification, Ve must be minimum, and similarly for minimum magnification, Ve must be maximum. So for maximum magnification, V must be minimum, that is capital D. V की minimum value, least distance of distinct vision, and then m theta becomes d by Fe into 1 plus Fe by d. इसको खोल दिए, m theta will become simply d by Fe plus 1, and this is the maximum magnification. Similarly, if we try calculating minimum magnification, for minimum magnification, V is maximum, that is infinity, and if you put V infinity here, m theta will become simply d by Fe into 1 plus Fe by infinity. By infinity will make it 0, and m theta will become only d by Fe. That is minimum value of magnification. Now see, minimum magnification of simple microscope is d by Fe, whereas maximum magnification of simple microscope is d by Fe plus 1. Therefore minimum magnification और मैग्निफिकेशन के बीच में केवल एक का फर्क है, इसलिए अगर d by Fe एक लार्ज नंबर हो, somewhere around 20, 25, 50 like that compared to 1, so in that case you can say that magnification of a simple microscope is fairly constant, because it can vary only between d by Fe and d by Fe plus 1. So when d by Fe is quite large, suppose say d by Fe is 50, in that case the magnification will vary between 50 and 51, so that you can consider it to be quite constant. So this is all about simple microscope. The simple microscope always forms an erect image, because for the angular magnification you form a virtual image which is always erect. That is simple microscope. Then let us talk about compound microscope. In a compound microscope, we have two lenses. One is objective and the other is the eyepiece. E and O we are talking about. Compound microscope. Now actually compound microscope में ऑब्जेक्टिव का काम है फर्स्ट इमेज क्रिएट करना, और इस फर्स्ट इमेज को आईपीस बिल्कुल सिंपल माइक्रोस्कोप की तरह मैग्नीफाई करती है. So objective forms first image of the object AB, this is A dash B dash, and then the eyepiece forms virtual image of the first image enlarged like this. Now here the angle subtended by object on the naked eyes, this is the same object AB at least distance of distinct vision, that is alpha, and final image subtends an angle beta on the eyes. So by definition m theta is simply beta by alpha. Final image inverted है, so there is a minus sign here. Now again for paraxial ray system, beta is tan beta because the angles are very small. It is tan beta upon tan alpha. Now let us consider this distance UE, and of course this distance VO, this is UO. Now here tan beta is A dash B dash upon UE, and tan alpha is AB upon D. Therefore m theta will become minus of A dash B dash upon AB into D by UE. Now A dash B dash upon AB in this set of similar triangles, A dash B dash upon AB is VO by UO. So it is minus VO by UO into D by UE. And as we have already learned for the simple microscope that D by UE is D by FE into 1 plus FE by VE. So we need not prove that again. We can simply write m theta is minus VO by UO into D by FE 1 plus FE by VE. Now this expression has two important components. This is one, this is one. This is actually transverse magnification of objective, and this is angular magnification of eyepiece. So total magnification of compound microscope m theta c is mt of objective into m theta of eyepiece. This is C for compound microscope. That is one thing. Now second thing is, we know that for maximum magnification the VE must be minimum, that is capital D. So m theta will be maximum m theta for compound microscope is maximum at VE is equal to D, and m theta maximum की वैल्यू हो जाएगी माइनस VO by UO into D by FE plus 1. Similarly m theta minimum at VE is equal to infinity. VE को infinity रखेंगे, ये टर्म 0 हो जाएगा, and we'll get m theta minimum is equal to minus VO by UO into D by FE only. Here we talk about one more thing, that is the distance between two lenses, tube length of the microscope. So tube length of the microscope becomes actually VO plus UE. So second thing is tube length L is equal to VO plus UE. Now we know that 1 upon Fe is 1 upon VE minus 1 upon UE, and both are negative. This is positive. Therefore, 1 upon UE is equal to 1 upon Fe plus 1 upon VE. Therefore, UE is equal to Fe into VE divided by Fe plus VE. You put it here, tube length becomes VO plus UE. UE is Fe upon 1 plus Fe by VE. This is tube length. Now this tube length will be maximum when VE is maximum. So L maximum when VE is infinity. VE को infinity कर देंगे तो L maximum की value आ जाएगी VO plus Fe, and similarly L will be minimum when VE is D, और V को D डालेंगे तो L minimum की value आ जाएगी VO plus D into Fe upon D plus Fe. So these are the two important parameters of the compound microscope. One is the magnification, which is minus VO by UO into D by Fe plus 1 for maximum value and D by Fe for minimum value. We have calculated general expression also. And the length of the tube, that is the distance between the two lenses, it is VO plus Fe divided by 1 plus Fe by VE. Now sometimes we use approximate formula for the magnification of microscope. Actually general formula for the angular magnification of microscope m theta is minus VO by UO into D by Fe 1 plus Fe by VE. ये जनरल एक्सप्रेशन है कंपाउंड माइक्रोस्कोप के मैग्निफिकेशन के लिए. Now when you approximate this, VO by UO is approximated as the VO is length of the tube, where UO is FO. So in that case, if you try using approximate result, you can go by this. Otherwise, we need not do it. You just apply the exact expression and that will give you the correct result. Now the third result is astronomical telescope. Astronomical telescope में again we have astronomical telescope में again we have an objective lens and then eyepiece. जो light rays parallel आती हैं, they are focused at focal point. So this distance is focal length of the objective. This serves the purpose of first image in front of eyepiece, and eyepiece as a simple microscope magnifies it to give final image. Again the final image is inverted. So टेलीस्कोप में ऑब्जेक्ट जहां पर है वहीं पर रह करके जो एंगल सबटेंड कर रहा है दैट इज अल्फा, एंड फाइनल इमेज इज सबटेंडिंग एन एंगल बीटा. सो बाय डेफिनेशन m theta is बीटा बाई अल्फा. फाइनल इमेज इन्वर्टेड है सो माइनस साइन. नाउ बीटा इज tan बीटा. tan बीटा इज a dash b dash divided by ue and divided by tan alpha. This alpha means this alpha, so alpha becomes a dash b dash by fo. A dash b dash cancelled. M theta is simply minus fo by ue. So this is general expression for magnification of telescope, and 1 upon ue हमें पता है, so we can write m theta is minus fo by fe into 1 plus fe by ve. Now m theta will be maximum when v is minimum, and that is 1 plus fe by d. So this is at v is equal to d, and m theta is minimum when it is infinity, so it is fo by fe into 1 plus fe by infinity. Infinity will make it 0, that is m theta minimum will become minus fo by fe only. This is at v is equal to infinity. And here also we talk about tube length. Tube length is the distance between two lenses. So tube length L is fo plus ue here, and we understand u is fe upon 1 plus fe by ve. So L will be maximum when v is maximum. So L maximum, that is fo plus fe, v is infinity, and L minimum for v minimum, that will become fo plus d into fe upon d plus fe. Now sometimes we introduce a third lens in between these two lenses, so that the final image is erected, and in that case the third lens must be of such a focal length that the image has, first image has same size as that of the object. So suppose if this is the object, the rays are coming from infinity, let's say they are being focused here. We introduce a lens such that same image is formed of same length but exactly inverted. That is, the focal length of the lens, if suppose f dash, then this distance becomes 4 f dash, and this image forms the first image of the eyepiece, and then eyepiece magnifies it as a simple microscope to give magnified image, and that is how the image formation takes place. So in this case, this erecting lens has no other role to play but to erect the final image. This arrangement is called terrestrial microscope, terrestrial telescope, and the final images erect here. So इसकी वजह से ट्यूब लेंथ में 4 f dash की डिस्टेंस बढ़ जाती है. That is how we come to the end of the discussion of ray optics. Now we'll talk about a problem sheet. So let us talk about problems on ray optics.